This video is brought to you in part by TruTech Tools, quality tools, essential support.
All right, guys, so we've got us a chiller here that's got a leak. It happened over the weekend. They said they'd be all right till we got here. So I went and picked up a couple 100 pounds of refrigerant, a couple 100-pound cylinders. Don't know if I'm gonna need the cylinders or not. We're gonna go in here and see if we can locate exactly where it's at. That way we can make the repair. Unfortunately, from what I see already, there's no place to valve anything off. We're gonna have to recover the whole receiver, which sucks because it holds like 125 pounds of refrigerant. Yeah. That's what happens when you get too saturated. Let's go to PPM. Kind of funny thing is, this is another plant than where I was working at before, and they have it's got a different name. Oh wow, I can feel it hitting my hand. Oh yeah, oh, I can feel it. I can. Oh god, yeah. Well, that's bad. So somebody didn't do their soldering very well, obviously. Yeah, it's right here. That's what happens. Everybody's like, oh, you gotta ring it. You gotta ring it. That's how you do it. You ain't doing it right. You ain't doing it right. You ain't pulling it in there. You ain't got a ring on it. No, that don't mean squat. It's amazing how many geniuses there are out there telling me that you don't have to split a coil. It has 3 coils thick. Haven't you heard of a power washer? Oh God, look at that. Woo! Woohoo! Put your finger over it. Look at that. Here, get that bubbles. A little trick to make sure you find it without it blowing it right off. Now they did shut it off. Yeah, it's all right here on that. Probably gonna have to add some oil to it too, which hopefully is just regular POE. Well, unfortunately, there's no way to valve this thing off. You got a solenoid here. These would actually be fairly easy to change. These are kind of small compared to the ones I just did. We got it coming out of the receiver, but not going into it. And this is off the hot gas here, coming in. If they would have put a valve in there, they didn't. No way to isolate. Unfortunately, who knows how much they've got left. And is it all fractionated? That's the next question. You've got 124 pounds. Thermal Care, Niles, Illinois. It looks like a Conair to me. So either they're who makes it for Conair or vice versa. Nice thing here, they actually got a flow meter. It shows you what your GPM is, which 36 GPM, hopefully that's just dirty. So probably the closest thing to getting liquid out of this is gonna be down here on the bottom of this. We're gonna yank that valve core out of there. It's one of them things where you think you're gonna speed things up a little bit by doing the push-pull method. There we go. There we go. You see the liquid coming out. So what we're doing is we're sucking vapor out into the machine, out of the machine back into the discharge line, which goes back into the receiver. It's shoving that liquid out of the receiver, which is our lowest spot down here, and it speeds it up. Now, eventually you're gonna run out of liquid and you have to pull like traditional. But this can really, really speed it up a lot. Sometimes it's not worth doing unless you have at least 15 to 20 pound system. This is 125. So you can see it will start slowing down. You can start pulling an extreme amount, like pounds a minute, several pounds a minute. And right now, we're not really getting a whole lot. It'll pretty much just stop once you're out of vapor, which is where that sight glass comes in handy, which feels like we've done did it. Then we'll just pull traditional, which then we'll just pull up both sides and we'll do our Y to speed it up. All right, so we're trying out the Appion kit, the quick recovery, which came with the 2 3/8 with 3/8 on the end. The 3/8 come to the speed Y to a quarter. You've got to understand the science behind it, and I don't fully understand all of it, just other than the fact that the suction, when you're pulling things through in a vapor form, it's slow as crap. But when you're in liquid form, obviously it's quicker, common sense. It has to do with the molecular structure. So you have so much resistance in the hose when you're pulling in the vapor side of things. We're pulling vapor, it's just the same theory behind the fittings when they're 1/4 inch. Everybody that don't really understand it, it's like, oh, it's 1/4 inch, it don't matter if you even ran 1/2 inch. Well, I've tried the 1/2 inch, which my good dude down there in Texas, old Jason Johnson, that's all he uses. And it did go a little quicker, but when you still have a machine that only can pump so quick, it slows things down. We're going to eventually run into an issue here where that's always a good sign. Where's that leaking from? So we're going to run into an issue where we're going to start going to pure vapor, which we're getting warm already, which sucks. There's not much in this thing. This is kind of a waste, but unfortunately you don't know until you get everything hooked up. So normally if this was pulling out the 125 pounds of liquid, we probably got 20 pounds, 30 pounds of liquid out of it within a couple minutes, and then we could have switched to vapor. It would have speeded things up a lot. Good guesser, I guess, because it was at 3/8. Pretty good size O-ring. I think we're going to trash this stuff when it's all said and done, honestly. At least that's what I'm going to try to get them to do. So we're pulling vapor on only one side to see whether this actually speeds it up. And go. 1/2 pound, 28 seconds. Let's see what it does here with both of them. Okay, let's start, reset, get to an even number again. Obviously, as the tank gets hotter, things are going to slow down, and it is getting hotter. You want to use the shortest hose possible to get that into your tank, too. We pulled 1/2 pound in 28 seconds before. I'm kind of curious for myself. Can't do nothing until I get all this refrigerant out anyway. No benefit. Matter of fact, we're actually a little slower right now. Great. Well, there you know. No real speed benefit there. The biggest thing that's going to kill you is getting rid of that freaking heat off that unit, which really we need a flat plate heat exchanger. So I can't run a water hose in here. That would be the smartest bet. You can pick those up on Amazon, adapt them. That would make a huge difference. But hell, we're already at 60 pounds going into the on the suction side. So this thing isn't going to hold much more than maybe 15, 16 pounds. So last week I had that scale carrying it out, put it on top of the truck because my hands were full, the door was locked. To say the least, I was going down the road as I was leaving that place. It fell off the truck. It ripped the bag a little bit, ripped it here, 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 and there. Still working. Didn't hurt the remote, which I had the remote facing this way. I don't keep it in the bottom of it because I think it's not a good location. That's probably one of the things I don't like about it. It just seems like it would get wet. But didn't hurt it, and it's still working. Pretty amazing. Okay, we're at 10 minutes right now. We're at 18 pounds, 12 ounces. I have to look through the thing, but let me calculate that up. That's where we're at. Really slow, down to 23 pounds of pressure. Probably going to need to disconnect here shortly because I'm not going to contaminate it with sucking air in with it. This will help protect it in case I forget. Don't want to lose that little cover thing. Sometimes that's the only way you can tell what the heck type of valve it is. Hey, I was thinking this was the same controller, which is like a Corel or whatever. It's not. It's a freaking Panasonic. Now that is a similar board that I've seen on the train, but this is all exactly the same. So they must just, and this is the same, they must give you the option of what you want to run on it. Not what I wanted to see, because I don't think it's going to cooperate the same way. It sucks when you kind of learn a controller that is already a pain in the butt, that maybe you'll be able to work your way right through it, no problem, and you find out, nope, not the case. I was going to open up that EXV so I can pull through it. So here is the EXV. It's currently at 35%. Well, looking at it, looks like they pretty much welded all on the outside of it. You don't see no burn at all, no burn going into that at all. They probably just piled it on the outside. Just a factory worker not really knowing what they're doing, or maybe the computer did it, I don't know. Because the way that all piled up there looks like a bead of a weld. And shiny as that is, really makes me think they use high silver, and boom. Kind of how the way all these braze joints here are. They're all kind of just filled in. That's the only one that looks like they might have actually had to, do something that was by hand. See how we got a nice burn up into here? They tried pulling it in, same thing. Theoretically, it should come all the way to the back, and it should, but here, not so much. There, no, not so much. But your discharge right here, same thing, hardly anything there. Well, we'll heat her up. We got the pressure off of it, valves are open. Got to pull a good vacuum on it anyway. A lot of extra braze rod. I mean, it got plenty on that thing. Now, since it is kind of silver, we're gonna put a little bit of flux on that thing. This thing's about had it. Yeah. My brush is about shot, so don't get too worried there. Worst case scenario, you can hit with the blue rod. It's got the stuff already built into it, but I think this one here's about had it. Time for a new one. Now that leak was up there on the top. Got a big old fan over there blowing. Trying to suck any nastiness away. Get that pipe hot first, we'll pull it into it. Yeah, they put it all on the outside. It's sitting there literally moving around, and I'm seeing holes pop open. Half the crap just falling down below. I think we're good now. Looks like we got plenty there. I replaced that thing because it wasn't wanting to shut off completely, and it sounds like or looks like it's doing the same crap again. I love the Uni-Weld options, crap tons of tips to pick from, but unfortunately, Uni-Weld, if it ain't within that 1 year warranty, tough squat, go on your own. I called them, asked them about it, and they wanted receipts and all kinds of crap. Probably not the greatest company in the world to work with, but they do make a pretty decent product. But when it takes a crap, you're on your own. They're not going out of their way to give you anything more than what they gave you. I mean, they ain't obligated to, but that's the kind of crap that really sets other companies apart when they go out and above. Just like Field Piece only has a 1 year warranty, but I've had them warranty stuff multiple times that was out of warranty. So whatever. And that was way before I started doing YouTube. So that looks a lot better than what it did. You gotta be careful with that because it is metal. A lot of times copper coated. Looks to me like I got it. Okay, they said they'd go all new refrigerant. Third speed on my Milwaukee, and it is having a fit. Somebody cranked the living dog crap out of it. Nobody's using a torque wrench. Yeah. Yipper. Crank her till you torque her. Till she's ready to snap. 10-inch wrench. Tighter and all get out. There. Now we should be able to get it. There we go. Usually it pops off, so I'm gonna leave that partially connected so it don't pop off and blow my face off. Just in case there's a spot in there that's actually got some refrigerant on it. There we go. Yeah, they got that bad dog. That thing's so tight. They got squished parts in there. They would just dug out the old part. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, this is getting changed on a routine basis. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. That is a crap ton of carbon buildup. No great way to run nitrogen through it when you're doing right on a suction. It's a bear. I'm not going to kill myself for one spot. It's when you got multiple repairs that I go out of my way to do it. But take a look in here, see how bad this looks. Oh yeah, that's got crap tons of crap in it. Lots of nastiness. We're gonna get some cleaner out, get some rags, wipe it out, try to do our best to make it better than what we left. Leave it better than we found it. That's about all we can do. That's what my old buddy Steve always says. Leave it better than you found it. These people depend on this stuff to keep their machines running. And I don't like coming back later, especially when I'm on call. Why not just do it right? Look at all that nasty stuff. Oh yeah. And see, you've got nothing in between there. I love that. Look at that. No seals in between the plates, so it just leaks through it. There's a lot of times why people don't want you to show stuff on YouTube. Is that kind of crap. There's always got to be a bad one in the bunch, just like other occupations. Look how bad that screen is. Can't even see through that thing. That is horrible. Not good. Look at that crap. That's your inside your refrigeration system supposed to be clean. Look at that. Non-chlorinated makes it a little better. Yeah, we're out here in the plain as day sunlight. Take a look at that. You can't even see through it. That is horrible. Look at that. Look at the dirt just pouring out of it. Look at that. That is horrible. Horrible. Terrible, horrible, whatever you want to call it. It ain't good. We're going to go through a couple cans of that crap for sure. For sure. Let's just give this a little wipe job here. See if we can get some of it off, and then we'll spray it some more. Look at that. Nice thing about brake cleaner is it doesn't leave a lot of residue. It evaporates. It's cheap. Used it like crazy in the grocery stores. Compared to the way this has been getting taken care of, I don't think it's gonna hurt a lot. These do have a nice handle. Set the icons, 20 bucks. Not usually so into this freaking Harbor Freight crap, but when you don't have a Sears anymore to actually warranty your stuff, because I mean, it wasn't like Craftsman was ever that great. It was just convenient because of the warranty. Now you have Harbor Freight. That's my favorite one, that little hook here. Just do not put your hand in front of it because it does hurt. Ask me how I know. Don't usually pull the trailer, but there's a bigger chiller here, like that blue thing. There's a couple that are like hold 400, 500 pounds or more. You know, they give you a new seal with every time you change the filter. You know, all you gotta do is just put it in there. It's like takes 2 seconds. If you take it out more often, what this one's been taken out, doesn't take much to do at all. I went through and hit it with the brush wheel there on the drill. I can't find my die grinder I just bought this year. It's at one of the factories I worked at, and they're looking for it. So let's get some of this nasty crap off. Man, that is so bad. That crap's floating in there. Floating in that system, just moving around. I already got that one about as good as you're gonna get it. Yeah, these come with it. It's like, not like it's that big a deal. Should be able to change them. It's not that hard. And then I like to make sure that get all the loose particles out, because look at all that crap. That crap's just gonna go right in your system if you're not careful. There's your desiccant doing all the work. Wipe that off, which it's got crap all over it. We'll use these inside ones instead of the outside ring, because that one looks like it's garbage. So see how that kind of works out good there. It'll hold there. Or actually, it works out better yet here. There we go. And then you put another one like this one here on the inside. I mean, it takes forever to do this. I mean, you know, so just skip it. Why do a good job? Just skip it. You'll be all right. I would say most people probably do not do that. That's the OCD in me. Okay, that kind of goes down to there. And that goes down there. See how you have a nice little seal in between it? This one here, that'll go around the outside edge corner of that. So long, so much time. Just ain't got time to do it. You gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. You can either use that one or you could use the other one. Either way, it's gonna be better than not having anything there. Boom, see how it kind of holds there. So here's your outer one. This is the one you need for that piece that I had to clean up, the aluminum. This goes down in there, and if you just replace it when you're supposed to, it doesn't get like crushed in there, and you use a torque wrench. That helps too. You aren't crushing it in there so hard. See, look at that, that's so easy. And you just take that little guy there and kind of go backwards, and I'll throw a little nylog on it. That's the thing I hear out of some of these people. They're like, oh, I ain't got time to do it right. Okay, and what are they gonna do if you do it right? Oh, we're firing you because you did it right. Okay, bye. I forgot I took it apart. Left all those nasty looking things there. That way they can see how bad it was. That also kind of lets them know, hey, this thing's probably not going to be the most reliable thing in the world. Look how bad that is. That is ridiculous. I just cleaned my hands before coming in here. They're packed full of crap. I guess as good as you're going to get it. Maybe a little bit in that one corner, I might go get it. That's just, good Lord. Go from a simple little repair to this kind of garbage. You can see all the crap that's around that. I need to try to get that off. So I want a really good clean surface because I don't want leaks because, you know, it's only pressing on one side of the surface. Yeah, I might not paint that shirt. Now what we'll do, we'll snug it up at the impact, but then we'll torque it with the torque wrench. Your filters are bad. Look at them over there. Ugh. So 25 to 30 pounds. Look at all those turns yet. There we go. So number 2 on that drill doesn't get it. There you go. That's how you do it the right way. Go figure. Rocket science. And then you always back your wrench all the way out. Take the torque off of it. So we're going to do a pressure test on it first, just to make certain there's nothing else, because I don't want to pull a big vacuum and be false that I have a good sealed system and it not be. You can be tricked by vacuum. Not a good way to check the leaks. It's fine for when you want to make sure it's dry. So we're looking at the high side, see if it leaks back on the low. It's such a big system, man, I'll tell you what. Wow. Well, we'll just dump what we got. We'll see what happens. You'll be lucky you're probably 60 pounds in it. This is such a, I mean, you're probably 120 pounds of refrigerant. That's what it holds. Well, I just found out my nice Milwaukee die grinder is long gone. I left it at a factory and it appears it walked out the back door. So that's discouraging. Figured that was going to happen eventually. All right, so here's where we're at. 90 pounds. See whether she holds. All right, so looks like we're holding pretty good. 7 minutes, ain't lost half a pound. Not uncommon. These transducers are accurate, but they're only so accurate. And then every gauge set I've had, even though they're compensated, I'm gonna say we're good. Compared to what we had earlier, we should be fine. So go ahead and isolate, get this thing down in pressure, and then start evacuating here. Okay, we're gonna use my blue hose, and I'm gonna try out the company's new black one they've got here. They basically bought all the guys these hoses, but they didn't get two of them. They only got one of these and one 3/8. But compared to how most of them weren't using anything like it, it's a heck of an upgrade. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this on one of the other lines, because I just like to just wear out their crap for once instead of mine all the time. And although they didn't get it from TruTech Tools or use my discount code SURVIVAL to save 6%, you can if you want to help support the channel and the people that help support me. So we'll get this thing hooked up. We're gonna let it pull vacuum. We'll get the micron gauge on there, which at least they went with the brands and the things I said we should go with. Unfortunately, all that's done is made people think that I had something to do with it. So what I usually do on those, I tighten up the packing nut a little bit. I'll back it out when I make sure it holds. Not horribly worried about that. Sometimes I'll put a valve core tool on it. I do it both ways. Valve core tool will probably be easier. Right now we're at 1400. So we haven't valved off yet, but we'll do that here in a little bit. So where we're at now, I just valved it off there, valved it off down here. We're kind of seeing where we're at on our micron gauge. Going up a little bit. Right there, we're coming in at 0.2 microns a second on a rise. While we're doing that, I was actually in here and I looked at, we had a fuse blown. They got an LED light across it, or a neon light. Tracked it back, it goes to the crankcase heater. So, isolating them, checking to see which one's short of the ground, because one of them appears to be, but of course they're in parallel. So that's shorted to ground on that one right there. So we got to isolate that one, and we'll put the other one back to service where it was at. All right, so we ended up putting the Wagos on the electrical over there, and the maintenance guy had a 1 amp fuse. So we got that on there. We're starting over again, pulling down, because I don't know what's going on with it. It came up and then it stopped, and I don't know why. But it's going back down. If it holds, we're good. It was just a release then of the refrigerant and the oil. Generally, I've seen that happen. It just doesn't do it like that. That thing was clamped off for probably a good 5-10 minutes and nothing had moved. Then all of a sudden, it just went berserk. So, should be good. We're gonna gear back down. That's what we're gonna do. You can see that's got crap inside the sight glass. Same thing here. Crap in the sight glass. We're gonna fill it up once we get it into a positive pressure. Right now, I don't want to add until we start adding refrigerant to it. We're back to 650-ish. Slowly down. Losing a 0.3. It's slowing down again. All right, so this thing got stupid again. Shot way up. Okay, so we're at 0.0, finally dropped off. May pull it back down a minute and then stop. So mainly it's moisture of some sort or refrigerant releasing. All right, so we pulled the vacuum one more time, and we're gonna do a valve off again and see how it goes. Now you could have a leak on any one of your valves there. You could be leaking through the valves. You could be leaking on these valves up here. It doesn't mean you have a leak. It was stabilizing out. So yeah, it's just one of the things where I did that pressure test first. I'm not going to spend forever on it. If anything, I will do a refrigerant check with it, with the leak detector, if we have an issue. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and get it recharged, get it running. Sometimes you don't have a lot of convenience of lollygagging around hoping for the best of everything. Looks like we finally got it there. The other one's a little hard to tell because it's kind of muddy. So we'll try that, we'll see what happens. So we've just finally got about 23.5 pounds in there, so that last pound or two, we're gonna go ahead and pump it in. This is how we're gonna charge the rest of it. This is something we do quite often with the larger stuff. It just takes too long trying to drive it in. With this holding 125 pounds, it'd be cycling off a low pressure switch like crazy. Plus, you're never gonna get that last bit in the tank in there. This way, you're not wasting anything. We got the water going through the tank, so we shouldn't have no problems there. And we got the new filters in there. We got the oil levels up, so we should be golden here real soon. I wanted to know if that sensor was junked up or not, but unfortunately, not looking that way. They said their water wasn't that bad. Okay, we just took it from disabled to enabled. You get your fluid temp in and out, you got discharge pressure, you have suction pressure, subcooling, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully we might be able to make this thing run. There's that, and that's going way high because our pressures are crap. Looks like it's partially open. Our gallons per minute's even lower than what it was before. How am I supposed to do this if it's gonna go up that high? It's up to going up on 500. This thing's, no wonder, oh my God. This is the kind of crap that just blows me away. You're like thinking, I'll keep with it, I'll get this thing done. And then either this thing's plugged up full of crap, there it went. I don't know if they got a strainer somewhere, which would be nice, like the other place does, but 503 pounds of head pressure ain't gonna cut it. So I made sure the valve's open, the liquid line here, it is open. You know we got nice clean filters now, refrigerant filters. Those were plugged solid practically before. So now I could only imagine what it was prior to me cleaning it. Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. Got a leak right there. And then we're gonna recover, this takes 75 pounds. Oh my. All right, so this only holds 75 pounds per circuit. I had to write it in here, called the factory. They didn't write it per total or per circuit, they did a total, per total. Why would you do that? Anyhow, we're blowing the liquid deck into here, but unfortunately, we got a leak right there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm gonna pump this thing down when we're all said and done. I'm gonna make that thing repaired. So we're basically dumping liquid. You can see what's going in. We're just weighing it out. But I thought it wasn't bad enough that I didn't know that. I guess do what I think, not what I say. So full load amps, I guess 152. That's for the whole thing all together. I've never seen anybody write it like that. This has got to be the dumbest freaking thing I've ever seen in my life. It's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. All right, so you're probably not going to be able to hear me very well, but we are now at 58, soon to be 62 pounds. Called the factory, like I said. That's what they said. Unbelievable. We've been watching it, making sure we're liquid the whole time. We're gonna find another place for this to be used at. We're gonna try to get this down as far as we can go without going into a negative. Looks like we got about 12 PSI. Should be able to freaking repair that real fast. Spray it off. But it'll help keep it clean. I see the hole right there. All I need to do is get that little hole. Now, the reason why I didn't do this before, because I figured it was a whole socket needed it, not just one little area. Okay, went through there, scraped it off, any excess, hit it with silver, cleaned up as best I can. It's just a mess. I think that plating was all messed up, but it isn't leaking, no bubbles, got it running. Probably gonna need to come back, but for the most part, the leak's fixed and it's working. We're super late and I am hungry and I'm ready to go home. It's working. I had to restart the computer. Everything seems to be fine. The camera went dead there. The SD card was completely full. I didn't have enough space on it. Everything's been working great. It's been a day or two since I've been there and they haven't called back. Everything's working fine. I scanned it over with the leak detector and everything's sealed up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.